Tomorrow, the world will mark the 1 year since COVID-19 was officially declared a global pandemic by the World Health Organization. At that time, just over 1,000 Americans had contracted the disease, 38 had died. Since that day, 1 year ago from tomorrow, nearly 30 million Americans have become infected, over 500,000 Americans have died, more lives that were lost in combat in all of America's wars against foreign enemies combined. Today, we have a real opportunity for change. On this vote, the yeas are 220, the nays are 211. The motion is adopted.
Things are improving, and yet here's $1,900 billion, most of which won't be even spent this year, being used. So yeah, some of it goes to museums and to other purposes that have nothing to do with COVID-19, but the bigger issue is at a time of record debt and probably a record deficit again this year, here we are spending $1.9 trillion, the second largest appropriation ever. The biggest one was a year ago, at a time when the economy is improving on its own, and there's a real concern. You know, Larry Summers, who's a Democrat economist, and plenty of Republicans have said the same thing, which is there is a real risk here of this kind of massive stimulus overheating the economy.
I think what we are seeing here is a very important distinction, and I've been tracing these numbers pretty obsessively, including as I was waiting to come on, I was clicking through and looking at them, is the difference between heat and overheat. So I know that there are concerns out there related to overheating problems, and of course that is always a risk that you want to consider. But when you look at that risk through our lens, it pales by comparison against the risks of doing too little, of putting the virus behind us, of providing relief for families and businesses, safely reopening schools, getting the checks out, getting the unemployment insurance out. And if you consider the spend out point that I made to Sarah earlier, if you consider how much slack there still is in this economy, with an unemployment rate for blacks of almost 10%, and Hispanics of 8.5%, so there's a lot of slack out there. And when you consider that some of these benefits are going to be saved before they're spent, then I think that puts some downward pressure on the overheating concerns.